from Mobile World Congress 2023. I'm here together with Khalenkov from PortaOne. Hello, Roman.
Hi, Kim.
So, another year, another Mobile World Congress. So, I wanted to discuss with you and talk with you about the main key challenges MVNOs have or face when they try to establish themselves in the African market, and how you can help them, let's say, to position them right and to really, let's say, solve the issues they have probably.
Well, first of all, Kim, there is no African market. It's basically a collection of different markets with different conditions and different challenges for MVNOs there. The main challenges, I would say, would be the regulation, because the regulation is in a very different level of advancements in different countries. You have very advanced regulatory rules and set of policies developed in South Africa, but it's not still the case in other African countries. So the more regulators allow to liberalize the mobile market, it gives more challenges to both to the incumbents and to the newcomers. Mm-hmm. So what are these challenges? A lot of competition, because if you start in such an underdeveloped market, there will be a lot of players, and you need to differentiate you somehow. So how do you differentiate in a industry, in a business which is ultimately is going to be a commodity? It's gigabytes and minutes after all. So you need to do something very different. You need to make sure that it is very easy to use from the subscriber point of view. So easy to register, easy to top up, and you want to make sure that it is reliable, because pretty much all African countries suffer from power outage, from lack of internet infrastructure and so on. So how do we address these challenges? We try to be as open as possible in terms of the software we develop, so people can design their own interfaces based on our platform as a basis. Okay. They can be creative and package different services into one subscription, and our software allows that. Architecturally, we design the software in such a way that it can be installed in different locations. So you lose power in one data center, the system will automatically fail over to another one. It gives a lot more redundancy and allows for high availability of services for the subscribers at the end of the day.
Oh, okay, very interesting. I mean, you just mentioned it, there's some certain unique needs and demands of the market, especially the African market, and you just mentioned with the data center how it could help if there is load shedding or whatever. In the current times, we know it very well. So what specific features you would say is PortaOne offering besides that?
Mm-hmm. Well, another challenge for pretty much all African markets, these are predominantly low-income countries. So the consumers are not only looking for usability, like a very nice interface, ability to easily top up the accounts, they also want to be in control of their costs. And that would be the main challenge for every service provider, every new MVNO. We allow to package the services in a variety of different ways. So it can address very different audiences, different demographics. For example, there is a technology called DPI, Deep Packet Inspection, which allows to analyze the traffic, the data traffic which goes through the network, and divide that traffic into the specific sources. So, for example, you can create a package where all your communication via messengers will be free, will not be deducted from the quota you are given to your subscriber. Or working, enjoying the social networks, for example. For many people, it would be a big advantage because this is their normal activity on the internet. We also, so we support that. We also provide our customers with the mobile applications. It's a strange mix for MVNOs because usually they rely on the calls via SIM cards.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you can provide that for free to your customers and allow them to communicate to each other for free. So you would not use the minute capacity you are getting from your mobile network. It will reduce your costs and will kind of help to retain your customers as well. Because for them, when they establish that link of communicating to each other via a specific app, for them it's much more difficult to move to another provider.
Okay, thank you. So it seems you already developed, based on your experience and over the years, a kind of a blueprint for efficiency for telcos, how they can, let's say limit processes or make big processes easier and just being more efficient in general. So what would you say is a main point where you help the telcos and MVNOs to stay ahead of the competition?
Well, staying kind of ahead of competition is basically means being agile. You need to move fast. So what we are trying to do to allow our customers to move fast. The development of new functionality, our internal development cycle is just 7 weeks. And for some people, even that is too long. So we develop new processes where we package new features, new functionality of our product into cloud applications, which are sort of outside of the main platform, but it allows to develop them faster and not to spend a lot of time testing because they don't affect the main platform. These are so-called low-code development or low-code processing where you use platforms like Boom, for example, to create the process and to connect the billing system, say, with your pre-existing CRM. That way you can do things faster and be ahead of your competition.
Okay, thank you. So what would you say is PortaOne's vision for the future of Africa and in terms of business and developments and outcome especially?
Well, this vision is also based on what we have right now in Africa. So predominantly low-income countries with lack of infrastructure. What will happen next? Infrastructure will boom. There will be more internet connectivity. There will be more data centers. For us, for example, creating an Oracle Cloud Infrastructure data center in Johannesburg was a big boom. It allowed us to install the system in the cloud for South African customers, and I hope the next big thing is going to be, say, the same data center somewhere in Lagos. Since lots of African countries still lack basic telephony and telco infrastructure, they will adopt the newest technologies even faster than the most developed countries. So we will see the faster adoption rate for smartphones, and as those countries are developing themselves and creating their middle class, we will see that booming, and essentially coming to the point we see in Europe or in North America, where the telecommunication services are becoming totally commoditized. So basically subscriptions, and the customers are going to be using on the quality of service, quality of customer support, and usability of the interfaces.
Okay, so actually means with PortaOne you can, a telco MVNO can be ensured he stays agile and flexible also in terms of scaling. So what if infrastructure, as you mentioned, develops suddenly, so with you all doors are open actually?
Well, exactly, the whole idea of the cloud, which we still lack that cloud infrastructure in Africa, is based on the idea of very rapid deployment of additional capacity when it's needed.
Yeah.
For the point of view of service provider, we try to do it totally seamless, so they wouldn't even know about that, and the whole magic is going to be behind their eyes, but we will be responsible for that.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Roman, for your insights. That was TechAfrica News from Mobile World Congress 2023. Check out more videos, insights on our website, techafricanews.com.